Once upon a time, in a small village in the heart of Africa, there lived a young man named Kwame. Kwame was known throughout the village for his charm, his smooth words, and his talent for winning over every girl he met. With his bright smile and sparkling eyes, Kwame had a way of making every girl feel special. He would dance with them under the moonlight, he whispered sweet things and showered them with compliments, making their hearts flutter. But despite all the attention he received, Kwame never seemed to settle down with just one girl. He would jump from one relationship to another, leaving behind a trail of broken hearts. The village whispered about him, wondering if Kwame would ever find true love. As the years passed, Kwame's reputation grew, and girls from neighboring villages would come to see the charming young man. But no matter how many admirers he had, Kwame remained mysterious, always seeking something more. Then one day, a new girl arrived in the village. Her name was Sod, and she was unlike anyone Kwame had ever met before. Sod had a kindness in her eyes and a warmth in her smile that drew Kwame in like a magnet. Despite his usual tactics, Kwame found himself unable to charm Sod like he had with others. She saw through his smooth words and flashy gestures, instead preferring quiet moments and genuine connections. As Kwame got to know Sod, he realized that she was the one he had been searching for all along. But winning her heart would not be easy. For the first time in his life, Kwame needed to be himself and show Sod who he truly was behind his charm. With each passing day, Kwame found himself falling more deeply in love with Sod. After realizing his feelings for Sod, Kwame spent more time with her. He took her on walks around the village, showing her all the beautiful sights and introducing her to his friends. One day, as the sun began to set, Kwame asked if they could take a walk to the nearby river. Sod happily agreed, and they walked together, holding hands, while the sky turned orange and pink. As they reached the riverbank, Kwame felt a peaceful feeling come over him. Watching the gentle flow of the water and the colors dancing on its surface, he felt grateful to be sharing this moment with Sod. Another day, as night fell over the village, Kwame had another idea. He asked Sod if she'd like to climb the hill near the village and watch the stars together. Excitedly, Sod agreed, and they made their way up the hill, hand in hand, under the blanket of stars. As they lay side by side, watching the stars twinkle above them, Kwame felt a sense of peace settle over him. In that moment, he knew that he had found something truly special. Kwame felt happy to have Sod by his side. He enjoyed showing her all the beautiful places in their village, like the river and the hill where they could see the stars. Sod found herself thinking about Kwame often, and she enjoyed spending time with him. But deep down, she also felt a little unsure about her feelings. She liked spending time with Kwame, but she wasn't sure if she wanted to be more than friends. So for now, they were more than friends, but not quite lovers. As the whispers of jealousy grew louder in the village, Sod's uncertainty grew. She wondered if she was causing trouble for Kwame, if she should leave. But at the same time, she couldn't bear the thought of leaving Kwame behind. The warmth of his smile and the comfort of his presence make her happy. Just as Sod was feeling confused and unsure, a big event happened in the village. A man came riding on a beautiful white horse, wearing fancy clothes. He said he was Sod's fiancé and had come to take her back to their kingdom. Sod felt really sad when she heard this. She didn't want to marry the prince. Even though she was a princess and he was a prince too, her heart belonged somewhere else. Sod's dad, who was the king, had agreed to the marriage to keep peace between their kingdoms. But Sword couldn't imagine marrying someone she didn't love. So, she ran away from the palace secretly and came to live in the village, hoping to find freedom. When the prince said he came to take her back, Sword felt terrible inside. She didn't want to cause any trouble for Kwame and the village, but she also couldn't go back to the palace. Kwame felt really sad too. He didn't want her to leave, but he understood her situation. Sword knew she had to go back with the prince, even though it broke her heart. As Sword hugged Kwame goodbye, they both felt really sad. Kwame watched sadly as Sword rode away with the prince, feeling like a piece of his heart was going with her. That night, Kwame couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about Sword and hoping she would be okay. The next morning, Kwame woke up with a heavy heart. He knew he couldn't just sit and do nothing while Sword was taken away. So, he made a big decision. He was going to follow them. With determination in his eyes, Kwame packed a few things and set off on his journey. He ran as fast as he could, trying to catch up to the prince and Sword. Along the way, Kwame faced many challenges. He had to cross big rivers and climb steep mountains. But he didn't give up. He knew he had to be brave for Sword. As Kwame journeyed through the forest, he heard a rustling sound nearby. When he looked closer, he found a little bird caught in some vines, chirping sadly, unable to get free. Kwame felt sorry for the bird and knew he had to help. Carefully, he untangled the vines, freeing the bird. With a joyful chirp, the bird flew off into the sky. Just then, a wise old tortoise appeared from behind a bush. "You have a kind heart, young Kwame," said the tortoise. "I have been watching you, and I see your determination to rescue your friend, Sword. I will help you on your journey to the palace." Kwame's eyes lit up with gratitude. He thanked the tortoise for its kindness and accepted its offer of help. Together, they continued their journey, with the tortoise guiding Kwame through the twists and turns of the forest. As they walked, Kwame felt hopeful knowing he had a wise friend by his side. With each step, they drew closer to the palace where Sword was. As they approached, they saw a grand procession heading towards the palace gates. Kwame's heart sank when he realized that Sword was about to marry the prince. Determined to rescue her, Kwame and the tortoise sneaked into the palace and made their way to Sword's room. When they entered, Sword's face lit up with joy at the sight of Kwame. They embraced each other tightly, felt glad to be back together. Kwame explained their plan to rescue Sword, but she hesitated. She explained that she was being forced to marry the prince to maintain peace between their kingdoms. Although she didn't want to marry him, she felt she had no choice. Suddenly, the tortoise used its magic staff to create a girl who looked exactly like Sword. They swapped the look-alike with Sword and ready to escape while everyone thought she was still in the palace. Kwame and Sword quietly slipped out of the palace, hand in hand. They ran through the palace grounds, feeling the cool night air on their faces. As they reached the edge of the village, they knew they were finally free. The wise tortoise appeared beside them, its eyes twinkling with pride. Kwame and Sword thanked the tortoise for its help, knowing they couldn't have escaped without its magic. Together, they journeyed to a new village where nobody knew their past. In the village, Kwame and Sword lived happily ever after. Kwame learned that love isn't just about charming words or impress someone, it's about being genuine, caring for others, and being honest with yourself. He realized that true love means accepting someone for who they are, flaws and all, and being there for them no matter what. Kwame's journey taught him that love isn't always easy, but when you find it, it's worth fighting for.